Alright, hope everybody's having a good one. Welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator with Cookie Pirate. I'm back after such a long time. I haven't done any flight sim videos or streams, but yes, I'm back. Today, we're flying the Cirrus SR22. We're going from central Alaska out over to Dawson in the Yukon Territory in Canada. We're going at 19,000 feet. Should be about not an hour, 36 minutes. It's gonna be, it looks like about 57 minutes. So yeah, 171 nautical miles, climb aboard, let's go flying. It has been a little over 2 months, I think, since my last flight sim video. It's a bit too long. I've just gotten busy with a lot of stuff. But here we are. Glad to be back. I had a big smile on my face when I was doing the intro, just because it feels so good to be back. I guess you'd say back in the air in the real world. And hey, look, there's a little bit of snow on the ground, and this time, it's correct. Ah, yes, winter is beginning to set in the interior of the state. Actually, really all the way through. The temperatures were down to about minus 25 in some parts of the interior this morning. And meanwhile, it's plus 11 down in Cordova. We've flown in and out of Cordova a few times. Plus 11 there at the coast, and it was minus 25 in the interior. But here we are, we're loaded in. Engines are started because at the central airport, you actually can't load up on the parking ramp for whatever reason. That's an update they need to make to the airport. So it just automatically starts us defaulted in on the runway. Engine is running, which is kind of good because it's going to save a little bit of time because I don't remember all of the settings. Now I do know the parking brake is set, which is good. Oil pressure indicator came on a little bit low. But let's go ahead and turn the lights all on, since we are, since we're out on the active runway. Now, of course, in the real world, we'd start on the ramp, run through all our checklists, so this is just going to be a bit abbreviated. Heat needs to be on. Temperature, this is saying minus 5, here on the ground at Central. That's about 23 Fahrenheit, so that's cold. But nothing like minus 25 in Celsius is minus 13 Fahrenheit. So that's just an indicator of how cold things have really gotten. We also do need to go in and adjust a couple settings. Hey Maria, welcome. Hope have a smooth flight. Hope you remember how to fly. Yeah, I hope so too. For y'all's sake and for my own sake. Alright, flight plan is in. Don't think we need to worry about icing yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and just turn it on as a precursor. Oh, you know what? You can't run it quite yet. De-ice. Can always do the windshield de-ice, but generally, if it didn't snow on the airframe or frost, and there's no visible moisture, you're gonna be okay. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. I don't think we're going to be flying through any clouds or any precipitation on our routes. There might be a little bit of cloud cover over in Dawson. I don't think we have weather here. We don't. So I'm going to cheat set the altimeter. Looks like it's actually set. We need to go into the options and turn it to... Alright, wind data, altitude units are good, standard baro, Oh, yeah, okay, here's where you change it. Now it's, yeah. So now we'll reset that 30.10. That sounds about right. Okay. Real quick, we'll go ahead and do a quick run up here. Boost pump needs to be on. The power up to about 1700. That's pretty good right there. Let's do a quick mag check. Good. Back to both. Engine instruments are all in the green. No warnings, indicators other than the parking brake being set, which is normal because when you go high power on the engine and your parking brake is set, it's going to tell you, hey, take it off because you're trying to take the plane off. But this is not takeoff power, so I kind of wonder why that indicator still comes up. It's... I guess it's just there that tells you it's on, no matter what your engine setting is at. Alright, run up all looks good. Let's go ahead and pull back to idle. And let's do a quick check of the flight controls. Rudder's good. Elevator is good. Ailerons are good. And yes, I have the tropical flowers playing in. Alright. Let's turn the ice light on. I don't think we really need to run it. Voltage is good. Amperage is good. Not draining. And I think we're actually good to go ahead and just take off from this position. Let's make sure the flaps are at half. Mixture is full forward. Throttle's kind of stuttering a bit. Never have gotten that fixed. Alright. Procedures are going to be pretty basic. We'll go full power. 77 knots. Now this is a short field. Well, it's not really short. It is kind of short, but it's a soft field. So what we could do is just hold the nose back, come airborne, lower the nose, and then, and that actually reminds me to double check the trim tab. It's good there. And then yeah, as soon as the plane comes airborne, you lower the nose and fly just above the ground in what is called ground effect. And you accelerate, and then you can climb out. But on this field, we can go ahead and do just a standard 77 knot rotate. Let's go ahead and make sure the autopilot is set as well. I don't think we need that. That's our runway heading. So we can actually do that. Nav is set to GPS. Altitude, we're going at 19,000 feet, I think we said. We'll adjust. If for any reason the conditions are not good, at 19,000, we can go up to 21, down to 17. FLC, and we'll set that to, I believe, 110. It's been a while since I've flown this. I think 110 is right. There we go. Alright, I think we're good. Alright, so we're gonna let go of the, or release the parking brake. We're gonna hold the brakes. We're gonna go full power. Engine instruments are looking good. The reason we're holding the brakes is we don't want to start rolling through the grass and have something go wrong. Alright, here we go. Brakes off. Airspeed's alive. We're getting a little bit of a tailwind. That's pretty nominal. 77, rotate. Up. Up. Alright, there we go. Just the way the terrain is. Alright, we got a positive rate of climb. Now take a look out here. Well, there's really not much snow. Oh, man. Alright, let's go ahead and bring the flaps up. Let's keep going on the runway heading here. We're turning a little bit to the left. We need to turn to the right to intercept the course. But runway heading is good for right now. And we can lower the nose down to pitch for our speed to go up to about 103, 104, which is VY, best rate of climb. And really now we can just go ahead and turn on course. Intercept our track.
Engaging autopilot.
Alright, autopilot is engaged, and this should be set to intercept course now. Yeah, it's a little hairpinned. Yeah, that's turning us back. There we go. I don't like topographic. I actually prefer relative. There we go. And yeah, let's zoom out. That's something that we normally do. Ahead. So 4 miles. 10. 25. Yeah, that's good. Alright, let's go ahead and turn the flight display on for you all to see. And there we go. Things look good so far. And we're gonna go ahead and do, yeah, we'll do full rich. Or not full rich, but rich a peak climb. So we'll stay at 110. Dial the mixture back to the bottom of the green. Looking for... That's good right there. Alright, lights. Ice light can come off for now. Landing lights off. Strobe lights and nav lights stay on. Pitot heat stays on. And yeah, look at the temperature. Already down to minus 12. Up at 5,000 feet. And I'm really not seeing much snow. It's just like a dusting of it on the... Okay, now we see it on the mountain peaks out this way. But yeah, I was gonna say, you're really not seeing much snow. I mean, I guess it's cold, but they haven't really had a whole lot of precipitation. And folks, as always, if the music is too loud or too quiet, or I'm too loud or quiet, or the flight sim itself is, just let me know and I can make those adjustments. Man, it is good to be back up in the air with you all. It has been much too long. I think, and even off stream, I think I've only done 1 or 2 flights in the last 2 months. I've just had a lot of other stuff that I've been working on. Alright, let's take a look at the map. Our route today. So here is Central, relative to Fairbanks, down here, we're to the northeast, and kind of south of Fort Yukon. Sits on the Yukon River, right on the Arctic Circle. So we're not much south of there. But of course, Arctic Circle is the point at which the sun sits on the horizon on the winter solstice. So we're not quite there, so the sun is still up a bit. I'm going to be flying out over this way. Kind of right over the White Mountains. And the Yukon River will cross pretty much right over Eagle, just a tiny bit to the south of it, right here. And then into Dawson. And the approach into Dawson is always interesting, because you actually kind of have to fly down the Yukon River here, and then make a left turn at the, I believe this is the... I think this is the Klondike River. It's not the Porcupine. Porcupine runs up here in Fort Yukon, out past almost Chalkyitsik and up to Old Crow in the Yukon. Yeah, this is the Klondike River here. So, on approach, we'll start descending further out, but then when we cross over the Yukon about here, we'll actually fly down the river, right over the town of Dawson, and then fly along the Klondike River, and small turn to land, or if we need to land this direction, we'll set up and establish a typical downwind base leg final approach. Let's see what the weather in Dawson is right now. Looks pretty good. 120 at 2, so the wind is very calm, so either runway should be fine. So If the wind doesn't pick up, then we'll just go this way. Right now it's kind of this direction, very light. 20 miles visibility, which is pretty good. A few clouds, 23,000 feet, so just above where we're going to be cruising. 19. Minus 11 and 30.10, so basically the same altimeter setting as it was on the ground in Central. So we should be looking pretty good. Alright, we're about 12,000 feet. Coming up almost to 13,000. And it's minus 25 up here. It's at 19,000. It's probably going to be much colder. The wind is favorable. We have about a 15 knot tailwind right now. About 14 actually, the component. Alright. Given the northern latitude, the sun doesn't get all that high in the sky, so if you actually look out this way... Oh, that's pretty. Now we can see some more snow-capped mountain peaks. And the sun is pretty low in the sky. It's only 2 in the afternoon up here. But just look at the sun. It almost looks like sunset, except it's 2 in the afternoon. We're about an hour past solar noon. Solar noon, it's about 1 in the afternoon right now, just because they're still doing daylight saving time in the state of Alaska, I'm pretty sure. We still are here, and I believe pretty much all of the US changes at the same time. I don't know about Canada. I don't think the Yukon Territory does daylight saving time. I think the Northwest Territories does, and the Yukon does not. So I think they are 1 hour... Right now, I think they're 1 hour ahead of Alaska time. So yeah, this is about as high as the sun is getting. Probably up here is its maximum for today. And then on the winter solstice, sun probably won't get much higher than about this. At this latitude, actually, it might even be lower. If you're on the ground at Fort Yukon, the sun will be sitting right on the horizon. Right on the horizon. Won't go above it. And you'll get right about 2 hours of sunlight. You'll get several hours of twilight. Yeah, this is turning out to be pretty, though. Yeah, a little bit of snow dusting out that way. It's actually more toward the south. You can see more of it out that way. Let's see, can we still see Central from here? Yes. Oh, you can see the beacons. That's the Circle Hot Springs Airport. Central is right here, and here's the town. And there is... somewhere, I believe it would be... Oh yeah, it's right here. The actual city of Circle. And here's the Yukon River. Fort Yukon sits up there, and the Brooks Range is just barely visible up here. Kind of as a reference there. Alright, and we've leveled off just now at 19,000 feet. Go ahead and set standard pressure. And we're actually going to climb a little bit. We set that at 18,000. We're going to pull back on the power. Looking for about... And the throttle is stuttering again. 30.5 on the manifold pressure. Right about there. And we're going for peak RPM. So we're going to lean that out. Should be getting to about 88 to 89%. Oh, a little past it there. Oh, little bit of a jolt. Alright, let's go into the engine parameters, check this out a little bit here. 30.5 is ultimate. Oh man. See, this is jumping all over the place. I don't know why. See it stuttering like that, it shouldn't be doing that. That's really weird. And right now it's sitting at what it should be. Tiny bit high. Just back off it. Tiny bit, hopefully it doesn't jitter again. That's right about where we want to be at. No, jumped a little bit too high again. Come on. Okay, that's... Alright. Hands are off. It's staying there. It's stable for now. Let's see if it continues to cooperate. Yeah. Alright. Just taking a look. We are... Yeah, maybe about 20% along the way. And showing about 37 minutes until we get in. Probably be a little bit longer than that. Counts. Descent time and everything. We're doing 227 across the ground, which is really good. We're doing 208 true, so a 19 knot tailwind component up here. So I'm pretty happy with that. Alright. Gonna do my best to not touch the throttle since it's being kind of exceptionally jittery for whatever reason. .160 true, that's looking pretty good. Yeah, these settings are looking just about spot on. Let's go ahead and switch the fuel tanks. You can turn the boost pump off as well. Actually, you would do this the other way around. When you switch fuel tanks, you would actually have it on, switch the tank, and then turn it off. So I did do that out of order. Not a real big deal. Minus 36 up here. It's probably freaking cold inside this plane right now. So we're gonna go ahead and do the hot air to simulate a little realism. I mean, I'm sure the plane is warmer inside, but with the heat off, it's probably still quite chilly. So you do get some natural airflow. It's true the sun will be shining in, and kind of the greenhouse effect inside the cockpit to warm it, but it probably is still pretty cold. Relatively smooth. They have that little bump earlier, although I wonder if that was as much a glitch in the flight physics model as it was like a weird jolt of turbulence. Look at that, that's beautiful. I almost wish it was kind of the reverse, because then you'd get just the sun shining off the snow. And let's take a look around. They need to fix the tail number. It's supposed to be down here. Gotta love the tropical flowers on the wingtips up in cold Alaska. It is actually summer in the... well, not yet. But it's approaching summer in the southern hemisphere. So if we do some Polynesia flights or something like that, we'll have long days, bright sunshine, really good summer weather for flying down there. So I think we'll see some Polynesia flights here. Oh, that just reminded me. Yeah, Flight Sim 24. Flight Sim 24 is coming out in less than a month. I think November 19th. So we're about 3.5 weeks from it, and I plan on getting it, and I plan on streaming it and making videos of it. So there probably will not be much more, if any, Flight Sim 20 content. I'll be doing pretty much everything in 24, and I am stoked. Gonna do a lot of winter Alaska flying. You get the northern lights. That's gonna be super cool. Scenery's gonna be, if you think it's decent now, it's gonna be really good on 24. Some different planes. I think we'll do the SR22. We'll get the Cirrus Vision jet. That's coming with the simulator, so that's why I ultimately chose not to buy it for this one, because I knew I'd be getting it for free in 24. I think we'll do some X-Cub flying. We're gonna do a lot of the same stuff. Just it's gonna look better, and we'll have a couple other options for aircraft, and I'm super excited for that. Just flew over the Coal Creek Airport here. That is back, not here. Well, actually, it might be. I'm looking for it. It's back this direction here. Somewhere over here, I believe. Or maybe back here. It's further. Pull the map up and let me see. Zoom in, and I can't. Yeah, oh, it's back here, so we're actually a fair bit past it. I believe that would be on this branch of the river over here. Oh, Tech Chariot, welcome, man. Good to have you. So here's the Yukon. Runs through. Is this? No, not quite. I was gonna say the river doesn't bend through that sharp curve yet. That's further up this way. Yeah, we're about a third of the way. Pull the map back up and take a look here. Yeah, there's Eagle. Yes, Eagle will be about 60% of the way. There's really not much out here. This is one of the most remote parts of the state. Now up here along the Yukon River. I mean, even back up this way, there's more stuff. You have Central, Circle Hot Springs, Circle City, Birch Creek, I believe, is somewhere over here. Fort Yukon, Veneti, Chalkitsik, all up through here in the Yukon River flats. But these mountains are very, very just almost untouched. You get some more settlements down here. Talk, Tanacross, Northway, Delta Junction. But up here along the river, it's really Circle and Central, and then Eagle, and a couple tiny little towns. And then you cross into Canada. The whole state is remote. It's bigger than France, yeah. Well, yes, but even, you know, if you're taking the state as a whole, there are areas that are fairly, by Alaska standards, that are more developed and densely populated. Of course, the Fairbanks area, one of the most. But in a short distance, you'll be able to encounter a lot of small towns, villages, settlements, and stuff like that. Like through here, on your way from Fairbanks down to Anchorage. On your way out this way, there are some. Along the Yukon River, it's kind of sparse, but out down here, it's extremely remote. I mean, it probably parallels much of the interior. Well, I mean, we're in the interior, but I should say the northern, you know, the Brooks Range, is extremely sparsely populated. And it's probably because it's a mountain range. Just like most of this down here, although this is more hilly. The Brooks Range is actually, I would say, some very jagged mountains. Of course, the Anchorage area is pretty densely populated all through here. The Matsu Valley up toward Talkeetna, the Kenai Peninsula. So Kenai, Soldotna, a bunch of smaller communities, kind of all through here. Of course, this is extremely remote. Toward the Aleutians. And the southwest bush, away from the rivers, you don't really have much of anything. Yeah, it's actually kind of nice to see these mountain peaks. Kind of covered in snow. I mean, I guess it hasn't really been cold enough, long enough for a substantial amount of snowfall. Yeah, now take a look at that. This is super pretty. Out here with the mountains. And what do I see? Yeah, you know what? That has to be. I was gonna say that's gotta be Denali in the back. Yeah, cause south of the Brooks Range, it's not the Brooks Range. South of the White Mountains is the Tanana River, which is flat, and then you get toward the start getting toward the Alaska Range, which contains Denali and some of those other really tall peaks. I'm not 100% sure that this is it, but I think it would be a reasonable assumption to say it would be. Let's go back into the cockpit, take a look at what we got here. Minus 36, so the temperature hasn't changed. Still pretty cold. Oh, I'm starting to get kind of hungry. See a little bit of light, kind of high cloud cover out that direction off the right wing. But I mean, it is crystal clear ahead. It is crystal clear to the north. It's just a really beautiful day to be flying up here. Hopefully there are snacks on the airplane. Well, Flight Sim doesn't simulate the snacks. It's not, it's not Cookies and Peanuts Simulator. That actually would be kind of funny, though. But, now, I myself will be probably eating dinner after I finish this, stream here. Yeah, this is beautiful, though. That's gorgeous out that direction. I just love the kind of the bluish green hues of the mountains, kind of all the different. I'm not going to call them layers, but kind of each successive line of mountains behind the others, as they just fade into the in the distance on the horizon. I do have some cloud buildup over that way, kind of right off the right wing, and a little bit up there. You can see a bit, but pretty much out this way. You can see just a little bit starting to show up way in the distance. The way we're heading out here, it looks pretty much crystal clear. I don't think we're going to have to worry about any clouds. And, yep, okay, here we go. We just passed the halfway point. And once we're abeam Eagle, here's the Eagle Airport, Town of Eagle Village here, and border of Canada is kind of runs right along here, I believe, and then the river crosses pretty much. Let's take a look at the chart. It crosses right here at the edge of this. This is on the backside of this island here, on the kind of in the middle of the river. Where it hits right there is pretty much the border. This is the limit of a military airspace, which has, I believe, a 1 or 2 mile buffer from the boundary with Canada. So that's what these kind of magenta hash marked lines are. They're denoting basically military practice areas for flight operations. Alright, so if we're looking, see, I love flying over and also into and out of Eagle, just because you get this, you get such a beautiful view here that you really don't find anywhere else on the river in Alaska. You'll see this the whole way throughout the Yukon territory, but you've got the river, then you've got these rising hills and mountains that come right up against it, like this, like that. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, here's the village of Eagle and the airport. Eagle Village, not to be mistaken with this. They're actually connected. And then here's the island, and you actually can maybe kind of see it right here. There's a line kind of runs right over the trees, and that basically denotes the border. So yeah, it crosses right about here. We've got about 19 minutes to go in the flight. Let's go ahead and take a look at setting up an approach. Even though we're just going to go visual, I want to reference a point to descend. Let's go procedures, select approach. I'm going to go ahead and dial it down so we can start. Set the visual for runway 3. Oh, so there it gives us our top of descent. So we'll stay at 19,000 feet. When we cross there, we will start our descent. Let's actually, I want to pull the map up and take a look at how that routes us. Because what we need to do... No. Has us do that weird curve. So no, we actually need to set a GPS track to final. So let's actually do that. Let's go down through here. And this may actually push our top of descent point forward. In fact, it will. Yeah, see how much closer it is now. But it isn't too late, so we don't have to manually start a descent. And that just gives us a kind of a decent descent profile for the flight director of the FLC to kind of guide us down. But what we'll still do is when we cross over the Yukon River just north of the town of Dawson, we'll turn, follow it, and then take that left turn along the Klondike River, and then that kind of left dogleg turn to line up on approach with runway 3 in Dawson. R1M, yo, welcome. Good to have you. Yeah, you can see it a little better here. Whoa! My hand started to slip right off the control. But this little community right here is Eagle Village. It's connected, of course, by the road. The airport's in between the two. And of course the Yukon. And yeah, this is all the portion of it in Canada that kind of snakes up and down through the hills and the mountains. And it does flatten out a little bit out toward oh gosh, Carmax. Oh. That should not have paused. There we go. Alright, we are in Canada. We have passed this portion of the river here. So we have just made it into Canada, and we are about to start our descent. So when we do, what we'll do is adjust our power. You wonder if there are villagers panning for gold? Ha! I get it, tech. Clever. I mean, people do still gold mine in Dawson. Or in and around Dawson. I don't think so much up in that part of Alaska. Although, I believe a small amount can be found. And wind is actually picking up. Alright, that's not right. That should have started our descent. We had the altitude set. Oh, VNAV was off. That's, yeah. That's why. Well, okay. Alright, so what we're gonna do is turn that off. We'll set vertical speed. And we'll do standard 1,000 feet per minute. Now, when we do vertical speed, we control our airspeed with the throttle. When you do VNAV, your descent rate is set and you control... Or I'm sorry, no, your airspeed is set to a certain number and you control your descent rate with the throttle. So we got a good constant here. Let's go ahead and grab the weather at Dawson. Should have updated by now. CYDA. I don't understand this. I don't think this is actually an airport on the charts. I don't know if this was and it got decommissioned or what's up with this. But we want this one here. What? No. There's definitely weather. So we'll go in and get it from the map. I don't understand why it does that. Alright, it has updated. The wind is calm. Sky clear. -10 on the ground. So 14 Fahrenheit above. And 30.09. So let's go ahead. We're below 18,000. We can go ahead and dial that in. We should. 30.09. And this is working out to be a pretty good power setting. And airspeed. We might pick the descent up a little bit. Saying 12 miles out, we need to come down. Or not 12 miles, 12 minutes. And we need to descend... I think the airport's at... Let me pull the map back up. I think it's at 1400. 1200, okay. Yes, we really still need to go down about 15,000 feet. So we're going to go ahead, pull the power back some more. We're at about 35% power. And we'll go ahead and steepen the descent rate to about 1,300 feet per minute. And if our speed continues to pick up, we can just dial the power back a little more. Shouldn't be jumping that low. And I don't understand why my throttle is doing this. And it's actually acting even worse than it was back before the summer. I was having the issues with it. So I don't know. I can zoom in on the map a little bit here. Look at that. That's pretty. Snow-capped mountains. That's pretty too. Really like that view out there. Yeah, I'm super excited for Flight Sim 24. That's gonna be fun. I think we're gonna have a lot of cool flights in that. Our speed is actually slowing down, just a tiny bit, which is I'm okay with that. It's actually buying us a little more time. Let's take a look. Whoa. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright. Fuel is balanced, so we actually probably don't need to switch the tank again. And down. Let's go ahead and lower this. 5,000 should be okay. Let me check the charts. It says there's some terrain above 5,000. Looks to be further to the north. Along our route, yeah, 5,000 will be fine. And then we can just hand fly once we pass over the river. There's the throttle jumping around again. No, not even touching it. I don't even have my hand on it. And you can see it stuttering like that. Kinda wild. Definitely need to upgrade. Or, well, it's probably too late to RMA it unless it's under warranty, and I could get it replaced. But I'm gonna have to look into that, figure out what's going on. Might just end up getting a totally different setup anyway. One that's more oriented for flying these kinds of airplanes, you know, small GA props and small jets. Let's take a look. Let's zoom in, see what we can see. Not much. Ah. I think we're still a little bit far out. Looks like it is starting to get just a little bit bumpy, a little bit of light turbulence as we descend, coming in over these mountains here. Light turbulence, we're fine. If it starts to get more moderate, we'll need to slow down to VO. So, VO is operating maneuvering speed, and it is on here somewhere. Yeah, here it is, 140. We're at 160, but yeah, just a very light turbulence right now, so we can leave the speed as it is. Right up here, VO 140. Back when I learned to fly, it used to be VA, and I believe the industry, I mean, some older airplanes still reference VA. VA was the design maneuvering speed, so when the aircraft were developed and subjected to all of the different engineering processes, aerodynamic calculations and everything like that, they came up with the design maneuvering speed. And some other speeds, design cruise, design dive speed, stuff like that. VA was one of the only design speeds that they actually referenced. Dive speed you won't see because they don't want people getting their planes up to dive speed. Redline or VNE is generally about 90% of that. VC, design cruise speed, is pretty similar to, it's not always the same as, but it's pretty similar to VNO, which is your yellow line here. So stuff like that. That's kind of the way that some of those speeds are developed. Pretty much all the rest of them are done in testing. Zoom in a little bit more here. Excuse me. See what looks to be, is it maybe just a tiny bit of mist or haze developing kind of in the valleys. But yeah, I mean, just look at that. That's pretty. I love these kinds of views. That's pretty out there too. Wow. Now this is one of my favorite areas to fly in, just because you get this, just these kind of gentle mountain ranges and kind of rolling hills right up next to the river that's winding through them. Get the lush boreal forests. And the temperature is starting to become a little bit more manageable now. Minus 13 Celsius compared to as minus 36 at cruise. Alright, winds are starting to shift a little bit here. And we are getting close to 5,000. We can actually go down to 4 and keep our 500 feet of... Deck says boreal forests are the best forests. Yeah, usually I would agree with you. When you get the fall foliage on, you know, some of the deciduous trees and stuff like that, it's just absolutely beautiful. But yeah, summer, spring, and winter, yeah, boreal forests, I think, are generally the prettiest. Oh, and that is another real cool thing that I'm excited about in Flight Sim 24, is that they're actually going to do seasons. So, I take that to believe that they are going to have, like the trees changing colors, losing their leaves, blooming, stuff like that in the, depending on the season. Alright, we need to watch this here. If we start to see yellow before 4,500 feet, we're gonna... Well, no, actually, because we're gonna turn and follow the rivers. So what we'll do is set our heading bug. We're set on the heading, so we're going to go ahead and switch this on, turn nav off, or automatically switched off when we changed it there. And yeah, take a look. Here's the town of Dawson. Right before we start our turn. And I'm not sure that's snow. Maybe, yeah, I think a little bit. Kind of a dusting of it. Zoom in a little more on the map here. Let's go ahead and turn here. Get a great view of the town. And I'm going to pull the power back. We can actually set flaps to 50. But I'm not going to do it just yet because our speed is kind of high and we're still descending. Yeah, take a look right here. Oh yeah, there is snow on the ground. Kind of a dusting again. Yeah, flying right over the city of Dawson. And here is the junction of the Klondike and Yukon rivers. And now we're good to go ahead and let's just set it just about like that there. And we'll go ahead and set flaps to 50. Or half is really what it is. These here, I may have pointed this out when we've flown in or out of Dawson before. But all of these right here are kind of old. This is old dirt that was dug up and milled up back when the Yukon or the Klondike Gold Rush occurred, and people started staking out for gold. And these are kind of all the all the tailings of the dirt that they dug up. It's really interesting to see that and the history of all the gold mining activity. Alright, we actually go ahead, put some speed in, and I'm gonna go ahead and disengage the autopilot. We're gonna fly this by hand. Get nice and slow here. We can trim. Whoa, not quite that much. It actually went the opposite direction. Just stabilize that just a little bit here. Take some power out, pitch down just a little more. A little more power out. Airport's right back here, kind of in this valley. So basically you follow the river and the airport's going to be on the right side of it. Here in a moment it'll just barely start to show up. The black is going away. It's changing over to green, which means we only have about 2,000 feet to go. It'll change to yellow here. We'll be 1,000 feet above the ground. Actually, you need to trim up a little bit. And we're getting close to the point we can go ahead and... yeah, here's the runway. You can see the lights. And I think what we'll do is go ahead and actually fly this a little bit wider. And we'll get ready to go ahead and put full flaps. Alright, let's do final items. Mixture goes full rich. Boost pump is on. Landing lights, ice light doesn't need to come on. Pitot heat. There's no icing because it's been sunny and clear everywhere that we've flown. So we're looking pretty good here. I do want to set up a little wider here. We have about 1,000 feet to go. Yeah, right about 1,000 feet. This says we're off course. Let's, yeah, we're slow enough. We can go full flaps. We're gonna leave the power setting as it is. We want to have a nice, there's a little icing. Yeah. Add a little power. And yeah, we're high, but we have a lot of runway to work with here. So we'll take the power out and just kind of glide. Nice and easy. Just come down for the intercept. This is a little bit of a tricky approach to fly. Little low, we got 3 red, the 1 white is behind that bush. And nice and easy. Jump the throttle a little bit. Nice and easy, floating just a little bit. Nice and easy. Minus 68, not bad. Alright, continue to roll down the runway, flaps are coming up. And where are we going to park? Probably up here toward these hangars. We'll take the next turn. So we're going to go ahead and get on the brakes. Ooh, there's a little bit of that nose wheel shimmy. Oh, it's the next turn is basically the end of the runway. That's fine. Thought there was another one on that side. Alright. These are your wigwags. Just indicating the runway is ahead. And that's kind of weird. Look at the icing starting to show up on the windshield. Oh yeah, you know what? It might be just a little bit of that fog there. Somebody's fueling up his Jeep. Alright. Taxi in and get parked here. Yeah, you know what? That moisture, it's gotta be just a little bit of mist kind of forming in the valleys. Where are we gonna park? Probably, I guess, wherever we want. I don't see anybody out there. So... oh, but here's somebody. I don't know if that's the right position, though. Could go park up at the terminal. Man, this is wonky. Parking lines. Yeah, let's go ahead and... yeah, just about perfect right there. Come on, just a tiny bit more. Generally, you want your wings kind of right on the point of the T. Alright, and there we go, parking brake is set. Flaps are confirmed up. Boost pump is off. Look at that thing starting to just continue to jitter like that. So weird. I don't understand it. We could defrost, but since we're shutting the airplane down, I don't find it necessary. And let's just go ahead and hit these switches here real quick. Pitot heat can come off. Landing lights off. Strobe and nav lights can stay on until we shut everything down. Parking brake is set. Flaps are confirmed up. Boost pump is off. Don't need to switch the tanks. Turn the heat off. And let's go ahead and just cut the mixture. Shut the engine down. Oh, yeah, look at that. Prop was actually starting to ice a little bit. That is unusual. I mean, I guess it's just that very faint mist. Alright. Avionics off. 55-minute flight. And it is just before 4 in the afternoon over here in Dawson. Continue. Lights can come off. Battery switches are all off. Mixture's cut. Ignition off. I think that's actually what you want to do before you turn the battery power off, but not a big deal. Alright, and let's take a look. Did we start picking up ice on the wings? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit right there, you can see it. Ice on the prop is a little bit surprising. That's kind of unusual. But yeah, it must have been just flying through that tiny little bit of mist. Like that. And look at that. I mean, we parked pretty much perfectly on that spot right there. Alright folks, that's going to do it for this one. Hope you enjoyed the flight. Welcome to Dawson in the Yukon Territory. Man, it was great to be back in the air. We'll do this again soon. Probably only a couple more, because I know we'll be doing this a lot when it comes time for Flight Sim 2024, back in late November. But yeah, I'm looking super forward to that. It's great to be back up in the air with you all again today. And hope you enjoyed the flight. Thanks for tuning in. Hope to see you on the next one. Tech Chariot, I appreciate it. Have a great day too. And until next time, folks, take care, stay safe. We'll see ya.